read a letter January 2nd of this year, which is the statement of the new policy. It's about a half a page. And then I just read the August 1st explanation of the policy, which covers 3 pages of well thought out explanation as to why it was done and why it was the right thing to do. I think it's sort of interesting that the explanation of the how and the why is so voluminous and comes 8 months after the policy and didn't come through this body. I would think that this body would be concerned about policies of this nature originating from staff, well-intentioned staff, but still these sorts of things have a major impact. We lose Saturday, Sunday, darkness, and holidays, and the day before and the day after a holiday for transporting large loads. Well, large loads typically are for commerce. We're usually trying to build a facility, work on roads. This is the sort of hamstringing that is the message that so many businesses in California have heeded and moved to Nevada, Oregon, Idaho. And these sorts of policies I would hope the Board of Supervisors would be cognizant of and send messages to your department heads that these decisions need to come through this body, not at the stroke of their pen. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Crane. Other members of the audience wishing to speak under public expression, please step forward.
Mr. Chairman, on this item?
Yes. Seeing no one come forward, I'll bring it back to the board. Supervisor Colfax.
Mr. Chairman, given the extent of the concern that's been expressed to this supervisor, I share the concerns that have been brought to my attention. Apparently there's some sense in this county that somehow working people don't work on weekends, including supervisors. Grand jury has made that point rather sharply in my case. The reality here is people have to accommodate the conditions that are out there. As chair of the General Government Committee, Board Committee, I would like to suggest here, I know we can't take action up here today, but I would like to suggest that the CEO's office bring this item before the Board of Supervisors, General Government Committee, and we give it the vetting that it really needs. It's not a simple matter. It's not something that we're going to take care of, but we're certainly not going to bury it in committee. Let me assure you that. We're not going to bury it in that committee. We can at least vet it and come up with an explanation or a rationalization for whatever policies that serve the people who do the work on weekends and the other 5 days of the week. So if I may bring that forward, and if that can be dealt with without us violating the need to take action on items that are off agenda.
Okay, what we would, excuse me, before I go to Supervisor Smith, what you're requesting is, I believe, a consent calendar item for the next meeting that would seek approval for a referral to the General Government Committee. Is that not correct?
I think that's the way we have to go. Yeah.
Yes, okay. Supervisor Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As the other member of the General Government Committee, I would concur with that. I think it's a good forum in which we can have substantive discussion on the topic, and members of the community, of course, are invited. It's a noticed meeting. It's a publicized meeting, so I think that's a good place to start, and I concur with Supervisor Colfax. We ought to put that on the consent calendar next week. Thank you.
Okay. And so, by order of the chair to the clerk, please make up an agenda item for the consent calendar for next week. That is a referral. The recommended action would be a referral to the General Government Committee. So we've heard your concerns and we're bringing it forward, gentlemen. Okay? Thank you very much. Okay, that now brings us to item 6C, which was a timed item at 9:15. Discussion possible action regarding premium levels and funding sources for the retiree health plan. It's estimated to be an hour. I'll be darn lucky if I keep it at that. Looking at the size of the crowd in the room. But as we progress through, I will invite public comment, and due to the size of the crowd, I would be very pleased if we could keep our individual comments to the 3 minutes. That would allow everyone the ability to speak. So as we progress through, I will announce public expression time. So to the CEO's office as the sponsor and introduction of the item.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Executive Office is bringing this item forward to you based on the August 25th, 1998 adopted resolution regarding retiree health benefits. Our Assistant County Administrative Officer, Allison Glassley, will be making the presentation today with support from our HR Director, Linda Klauser. Allison, if you would make the presentation, please.
Good morning.
Good morning. Allison Glassie, Assistant CEO. When we were drawing straws for who was going to do the presentation, I won. And I do want to point out that on the agenda summary it says